baseball action as the new Trier Trevians take on the Evanston Wildkits.
Let's go.
The Master B-Town rivalry. That's Brian Rogers out in left. Brian Prince in center. Tommy Geary over in right. Sharp at third. Gelber at short. Chris Busby at second. And Matt Lottich at first. The batting order. The battery, rather, of Peter Elmer and Steve Marte. This is an Evanston team in a tremendous amount of disarray. Combination of discipline problems and suspensions have really put them behind the 8 ball. Baseball-wise, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 scratches listed on this roster of theirs that they handed me. First pitch is the ball.
Roger! Let's go. Go, Elmo.
And the count evens up and a ball and a strike. Elmer 6-0 on the season as a pitcher. Now they pitch on the way. Outside a ball.
Go, Pete. Come on.
And swinging a foul ball right into the dugout.
Wake up.
I think it nearly got Newmeyer sitting on the bench. And the delivery. Strike 3. Caught him looking. And Aaron Smith goes down. First out. First man up. One up, one down. Here's Smoller. High a ball. Foul ball back. Trevians continue their hot hitting.
Come on, Peter.
75 hits in the last 4 games. Little 6-3 put out. And here's Taylor.
We got 2. One more.
Scott Taylor, sophomore first baseman. Fairly stocky, 6 foot, 185 pounder. Pitches low a ball.
Yeah, really good. But I don't think there were 25,000 there.
Oh, really?
They go by tickets right against that.
Pitches low a ball to Taylor. Foul ball back, out of play. Glad to have you here on the network, wherever you may be. Welcome to the game today between the Trevians and the Wildkits. Trier playing well. Evanston been a bit sketchy. There's a long fly ball. Back it goes. Back over the head of Prince to the wall. And a double for Taylor.
Peter.
And here's Stefano Faggi.
Come on, one more.
Faggi's gets a swing and a miss. Strike 1. And the
Come on, Peter.
delivery by
Nice spot.
Peter Elmer, just a little bit outside, apparently.
Front, Steve. Peter. Be wide, Marty. Come on, Peter. Come on.
Straight up, high pop-up. Lottich over, reaches over, makes the catch. Nice catch by Matt Lottich. And the inning over. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left. Well, a nice job by Matt Lottich here. Reaching over. And the ice cream cone catch retired the side. It's Busby to lead it off.
Go, Buzz. Come on.
Chris Busby.
We say 11.
And then,
Busby 3 hits and 3 plate appearances in the last game against Lake Forest. Now the delivery outside a ball. Busby, Gilbert, and Pritz do up. You're in the bottom half of the frame. Pitches low a ball.
Come on, Buzz.
Ball 4. And Busby draws a walk. Here's Andrew Gilbert.
Let's go.
Gilbert shortened as if to bunt. Took the pitch outside a ball.
Say, kid. Go.
The pitch in the dirt, low a ball. Got away. And Busby on to second. Lorenzo Stevens on the mound for the Wildkits. And a ball gets away again. And Busby trots on over to third. The delivery in there for a strike. Glad to have you here on the network. Trevians and the Evanston Wildkits. Always an important game.
Right.
Even when one of the teams isn't going anywhere, and I would tend to say that's probably Evanston this year. Runners on at first and third. Both via walks, and here's Brian Pritz. Faked the throw, didn't go anywhere with it. There's a strike, knee high. Oh, and 1. High, a ball. 1-1 the count. Matt Lottich on deck.
Oh, Priyak, get your pitch, kid.
Nobody out. Runners at the corners. Inside a ball. 2-1 the count. Two and one the count. High a ball. 3-1. 3-1 the count. Runners at the corners. Swinging a ground ball. They've got Busby in a rundown. And they tag him out. Scored as a fielder's choice. Scored as bad base running by the Trevians, perhaps. And there's one away. Here's Matt Lottich. So runners are on at first and second. Lottich takes a pitch high, a ball. Cloudy, sort of threatening day. Wind coming in off the lake. And Matt Lottich hit by a pitch. Grazed by a pitch, and the bases are loaded. Lottich at first. Prince at second. Gilbert at third. And here's Matt Sharp.
Get in there.
Sharp with a long fly ball. Back, over the head of the center fielder. 1 run gonna score. 2 runs are gonna score. And Lottich will hold up at third. Sharp with a double. First hit of the ball game. 2 runs come home. Trevians lead it 2-0. And here's Luke Sunheim. Ball outside.
Oh, Luke.
Pitch is low, a ball.
Hey, one pitch, oh, it's there, hit hard somewhere. Come on.
In the last 24 innings, or 23 innings of actual at-bats, the ball gets away. Here comes Lottich, and he'll score on another wild pitch. Or pass ball. Sharp moving on up to third. 3-0. Nobody out, or 1 out, make it. And Sunheim the batter. The last 23 innings, the Trevians have batted around 10 times. Sunheim with the walk. That is, they sent at least 9 men to the plate 10 times. As we said, they've outscored their opponents 79-9. Here's the pitch. Ball outside to Brian Rogers. The 7th man to bat in the inning. 1 out. And already some action out in the bullpen for the Evanston Wildkits. Ball outside. Threatening to load him up for Tommy Geary. There's a strike. A lot of pitches for Stevens. Pitch is low and away.
Come on, let's go.
Trevians 3 runs on 1 hit. There's a long fly ball, center fielder. And left fielder takes it for the out. And scored as a sacrifice fly. 4 runs are in the inning. And here's Tommy Geary. The right fielder of the Trevians, Tommy Geary, bats. Geary singled all 3 times he was at the plate against the Lake Forest Scouts. And a bunt, and it is a beauty. Everybody safe, and now they throw it away. Scored as a single, and the error. Here comes the man around to score. And Sunheim scores from first base on the error. Scored as a single, and the error. And the coach out to have a word.
Come on.
with Stevens. And here's Steve Marte. High ball.
They've outscored their opponents 68 to 9.
Nice afternoon of baseball. Wind blowing in from the lake. Pitch is low to Steve Marte.
0-7-1.
What a beautiful bit of base running. Beautiful bit of hitting that the Trevians have been doing. They also have had a lot of walks during this 4-game stretch. Now 4+ stretch. As the Trevians have batted around once again. This is the 11th time in the last 24 innings. 11th? Wait a minute.
We're not talking about the right field line.
Ball 4. And Marte draws the walk. And here's Chris Busby. Time called. Peter Harper running for Marte as the courtesy runner.
Come on, bud.
Here's the ball. Here's another bunt. Giddy. Everybody safe. Threatened to throw it. Did throw it over to third, but the runner safe. So now the bases are loaded for Andy Gelber. Gelber. That's with the bases loaded. Trevians already have 5 runs in the inning. 3 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4 walks. Pitches outside a ball. Now the delivery by Stevens. In there for a strike. Lorenzo Stevens on the mound.
Get in there.
High bounder. Picked up, throw to second for the force out, and the inning over.
There you go, 5. Get us back in here. Let's go, Al. Get us back in here, kid.
But the Trevians score 4. 1, 2, 3, make it 5. And lead it 5-0 at the end of 1. We'll be back with more. Some of our alumni have made it back today. Trevians. That's a young alum in the yellow shirt. We move along to the second inning. And the high pop-up. Whoa, they let it drop.
Hey, that's not his...
Well, case of warts. Marte, Elmer, and Lottich. Lottich was called off, and it really should have been, I suppose, Matt's ball, but Elmer called it. And then Marte... And the two of them sort of looked at each other. Doink. In it goes. Scored as a hit. Although you really should score that as an error. But it is scored as a hit. Single. The designated runner. Courtesy runner. Bryson Brownlee running. There's the ball.
Come on, let's go.
Look back to first. Runner wasn't going. Ground ball through for the base hit. Little single. Runner holds at second. Smith. Runners on at first and second. Nobody out. Trevians leading. High pop up. Foul. Gary giving chase, but not in time. Down in the bullpen of the Wildkits. There you can see the dandelions are up in full force. Out along that fence.
Come on, Elmo.
Wrigley Field has the ivy.
All right, come on, one more. Come
Duke
on.
Childs Field has the dandelions. Strike
Good, Elmo.
to Smith. Runners on at first and second. Zeisser with the single. Excuse me. Foul ball back. A little miscommunication on the part of the Trevian infielders. And a single by Zenlow to right. Put two aboard with nobody out.
Come on, Elmo. Let's go, one more.
Now the pitch. Foul ball back again. We're in the top of the second. Trevians 5 runs on 3 hits. Wildkits no runs on 3 hits. Another windshield whacker. Got the wind blowing in off the lake today. Now the pitch on the way. High pop up, down over, close to the fence. Lottich again. Oh my. Second time today, Lottich pulled a nice one. Along that fence, nice play. Oh, Lottich again. With the nice play right along that fence. Checks where the fence is. Sees it out of the corner of his eye, really. And reaches out. Again, over the fence. Brings it back in for the out. One away. So Matt Lottich, second time today. Getting over by the fence for the out. One away. Here's Greg Weiler. Go to second. Runner back. Not by much, but he got back. Now the pitch. High a ball.
Hey, 6 more inches.
little bit nippy today. Wind blowing in.
Come on.
Outside of ball. Weiler the batter. 1 out. 2 aboard.
Come on.
Shortened the bunt. Strike.
1 out.
Elmer, very highly regarded. Actually, the scouts have come out looking at him. That's a ball.
You didn't give him time. You guys stay down.
Pete. Go get him, Pete. Come on, Peter. Come on. Let's go. Good, Pete.
Swing and a miss. Strike.
Come on, one more.
Coming to the end of the baseball season. Got about a week left to the regular season. And then it's on to the playoffs. And Trevians hoping to do a lot of damage in the playoffs, but going to have to play a little better than they have been. I don't think some of these players on the Trevians actually have been trying very hard. Bases are loaded. I know it's hard to imagine scoring like they have been and hitting like they have been, but I think they actually could be doing a lot better than they are. Here's Justin Connolly batting with the bases loaded and 1 out. And the ball 1 sends Steve Barte out to have a word with Peter Elmer. Pitches outside a ball. One out. Bases loaded. E-Town threatening in the top of the second. And there, first strike. Now the delivery. Low ball. Swings right through that for a strike.
All right, come on, one more. Let's go.
Conley the batter. Bases loaded. Elmer trying to pitch his way out of the jam.
Come on, let's go.
And the lefty pitch and a little foul tip back. Conley getting a little piece of it. Evanston had a big problem with a drinking incident that sent a number of players into their rehabilitation program.
Come on, let's go, Peter. One more.
They have a program very similar to New Trier. In that respect, there's a strike. Strikeout. Caught him looking. And there's 2 away. Two down, and here's Tim Joyce. Leadoff hitter. Fouls one off with a little squibber.
Hey.
Top of the second. It was a slow-moving game. A lot of pitches. High a ball.
Help out, Marty.
Well, we broke the string of one-hitters. A little squibber picked up by Elmer. Throws, got him. A 1-3 put out and the inning over. No runs, 2 hits, 3 left. Go to the bottom half of the second. Fritz, Lottich, and Sharp due up. There's Tino Malnati with Todd Townsend.
Hey, mister!
Glad to have you. Brian Pritz, glad to have you here on the network. Brian Pritz, the batter. High and tight, a ball. Swing and a foul ball back. Second inning. Delivery. Gets away. Actually, I think he threw that behind Fritz. A little squibber foul. Reached down into the dirt for that one. Fouled it off. Swung at a high one, up in the eyes. Strike 3, and Pritz is out. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Matt Lottich. Lottich hit by a pitch in the first. Grazed by a pitch. Fouls one off. Strike 1. Long fly ball. Back it goes. Back now. It's a little too much. And the right fielder rather gets under it. Takes it for the out. Gave it a good ride. But the right fielder had time to get under it. 2 down. Here's Matt Sharp. Outside a ball.
Use those hands. Out away.
That's a ball. High, a ball. Luke Sunheim on deck. 2 out.
I don't need him now. Sure. Okay.
It's a ball. Ball 4, and Sharp draws a walk. 5th walk issued today by the Wildkits pitching, and here's Luke Sunheim. There goes the runner. Ground ball. Through for the base hit. On the hit and run, and Sharp will go to third. Nearly tagged him with the batted ball. So runners at the corners for the Trevians with 2 out. And here's Brian Rogers. Lorenzo Stevens on the mound for the Wildkits. The pitch is high and outside to Rogers, the left fielder of the Trevians. Hit a sacrifice fly in the first, brought home a run. You have some activity continuing down the line to the right field corner. There's a bunt attempt by Rogers and pushed it foul. Out of delivery, high and away a ball. There goes the runner. And boy threw it way out in the middle of nothing. And Sunheim will go into third. Lumbering to third. Score that as an error. And another run home for the Trevs. Here's Rogers. Chance to pick up the runner at third with 2 out. It's low and inside, I guess, a ball. Now the pitch. Outside a ball. And Rogers draws a walk. 6th walk of the ball game for the Trevs. Runners again back on at the corners. And Tommy Geary, the batter.
Go, Tommy.
Geary singled and advanced on the error, bringing home a run.
There we go. Go with it. Here where it's pitched. You see him hit it, Tommy. Let's go, Ken.
Foul ball, back, and the windshield whacker. Tommy Geary, the batter. 2 on, 2 out. Ball in the dirt, 55-footer. There goes the runner. Stolen base for Rogers. He makes it without a throw. So runners on in scoring position. 2. Sunheim at third. Rogers at second. Geary fouls one off. Little squibber. Picked up by Stevens. Up and throwing. Got him for the out. In the inning, 1 run on 1 hit. 2 walks, an error, and 2 left. We'll be back with more in just a moment. To the second inning, or third inning rather. Smoller takes a pitch low, a ball. We have a scoring change for you. That little pop fly that landed on the infield while everybody sort of did a who me take it has been ruled an error. Makes it a 2-hitter right now. There's a fly ball out to right. Geary has it for the out. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Taylor. Scott Taylor doubled to the wall back in the first inning, batting here in the third. Taylor's had to come in and basically become something of a leader for this team. After all the problems they've had, players that should have been there that have since run into trouble and are not on this team right now, or are absent because of having to be somewhere else today. School responsibility on the rehabilitation program. There's a foul ball back. They got caught with a drinking incident when they went on a trip to Southern Illinois. The week after the new Trier Trevians got back, Evanston Wildkits did the same thing. We have another windshield whacker off towards the rush hour traffic on Willow. Now the pitch on the way. The ball inside, and
Let's go.
Marte unable to hold on, or got a little lazy with the glove.
Come on now, cut, kid. Come on. One more. There it is.
Ground ball, high bounder, picked up by Gilbert deep, throws, not in time. And it is a single.
Gotta go, Steve. Nice play, G.
Gilbert tried to take the throw, but it was way late
Come on, let's go. Put it on him.
for that play thanks to the high bound. There's a ball low.
Come on. Go, Peter.
Stefano Faggi takes a pitch, low and away ball. Faggi bats. Popped out to Lottich. Nice play by Lottich, reaching over the fence and pulling it back in for the out. First time up. Glad to have you here, wherever you may be on the network line. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast today. Ball 4. Second walk issued by Peter Elmer, and runners on at first and second with one out. And here's Schleicher. He was safe on that error, as we mentioned. Little pop fly that
Yes. Shoot.
Peter Elmer, Steve Marte, and Matt Lottich had originally moved in for it, but he backed off when Elmer and Marte both called for it, and then they looked at each other and let it drop. So Schleicher officially 0 for 1.
Go, Elmo.
Throw back to second. And Scott Taylor back in plenty of time. Third inning. Now the pitch on the way, high and away a ball. High fly ball. Geary has it. Throws to. Oh no! Oh my! Threw behind the runner, nearly got him. Let's see how close that was. Geary waiting for the fly ball there. Geary has a strong arm that has somewhat surprised those who didn't know. Great job by Geary throwing to Gelber. You know what? He was out. Got away with it. Sure looked like he was out right there. Let's watch it again. There's the ball coming in. Into the glove. And you can see that base, that runner is nowhere near that base. That ball's in the glove right there, nowhere near the base. And got away with it. 2 out, 2 aboard, and here's Denlow. Well, a bad call, I suppose, is what the ump calls it, but plays like that always seem to hurt a little bit. You're up by 6-0. What difference does it make? Pitch is high, a ball. Swing and a base, strike. Third inning. flag called. And the magic of tape. There's a little squibber right down the line. Picked up. Oh, bad scoop. Throw home. Safe. Now there goes the runner. Throw over to second. Got him. But a run comes home. Score that as an error on Elmer. So single, or rather an error. Taylor comes home to score, and that double play cost the Trevians a run. Here's Marte. High a ball. Steve Marte, he walked. Back in the first. Again, the Trevians batted around in that first. There's a strike. In tied a ball. Marte, Busby, and Gelber do up. You're in the bottom of the third. Ball 4, and Marte again draws the walk. Lead off walk, and here's Busby.
They're over there hitting baseballs, and I'm sure they have hit every single car that's there.
Harper, the courtesy runner for the catcher. There goes the runner. Scored as a stolen base. The fleet-footed Peter Marte make Peter Peter Marte was his brother. Peter Harper. Fleet-footed. Stands at second. Pitch is low, a ball. Peter Marte holds the new Trier Trevians record for the lowest ERA in a season, under 1. It was 0.67, 0.87, something like that for a season. Ball low. Now the pitch, high and away a ball. There goes the runner, and he's out. 2-5, caught stealing, and Busby takes the walk. So we exchange runners, put another man back on at first, 1 out. And here's Gilbert. Andrew Gilbert walked. And the first, scored a run. Fielder's choice to end the first inning. Andrew Gilbert batting with 1 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Lorenzo Stevens still on. There goes Busby. And it won't matter, it's a balk. So Busby now on at second. There's a strike. Chris Busby in scoring position with 1 out. There's a strike, inside corner. A new Trier faithful, none too pleased with that. Inside a ball. Had Gilbert backing a little bit more out of the way. Lorenzo Stevens on the mound. Swings and hits one into the ground. Deep short. The throw, not in time. Scored as a single. Busby on at third. And there's Brian Pritz. Runners at the corners. High ball. Inside a ball, 2-0. Evanston in the New Trier Regional. 2-1. So we will possibly see them again. Niles West in the regional. They can occasionally come up with a good game. There's a high pop-up foul. Out of play. Windshield whacker. Boing.
Donkey.
The pitch. High ball.
Donkey.
There goes the runner. Long fly ball. Down the line. Foul.
Donkey. Third inning. Third inning.
Pitches in the dirt. Ball 4. Bases are loaded for Matt Lottich. Out of all the players to be up in this situation, you don't want Matt Lottich up there. And we have a new pitcher coming in. While we have that opportunity, we'll take a break. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network. We have a new pitcher in there. Sven Stafford. Big boy, 6'7", 6'6", 270 pounds. 6'6", 270. Facing Matt Lottich. One out, 3 aboard. There you see Stafford. He's facing Lottich. Ball gets away. And on the wild pitch, a run comes home. Everybody moves up. That ball went back to the screen and nobody knew where it was, only Lottich. And Lottich waved the runner home and the runner didn't believe him. But Busby finally trotted in with the run. And now runners on at second and third. That pitch inside the ball. Ball 4. And Lottich draws a walk. Evanston apparently very scared of Lottich. Hit by a pitch. Fly ball to right field that got out there in a hurry. But the catch made, and now a walk, and the bases are loaded once more. 4th walk of the inning. And here's Matt Sharp.
Get it going. Here we go. Here's pitch.
That's 10 walks on the game for the Evanston Wildkits pitching staff. Big gap down the right field lines. Ground ball. Taken on the fielder's choice, and that's all they can do with it. For 2 on the putout on the fielder's choice. And the bases remain loaded. So Sondheim bats, delivery on the way, low, a ball. Trevians have scored a run here in the inning. Bases are loaded. 2 out.
Top pan. Here we go.
Come on, Luke.
Swing a little dying quail. Drops in for the base hit. 1 run in. 2 runs are in. As Fritz and Lottich come home to score. And Sharp over to third. So now 3 runs in the inning. And the Trevians lead 9 to 1. And we have a pinch runner, John Corwin. So Corwin on at first. Yeah, running for Sondheim. Brian Rogers the batter, 8th man to bat in the inning. There goes Corwin, little ground ball. Foul. Glad to have you, wherever you may be. Hope you enjoy this broadcast. Trevians have runners on at the corners. The delivery. Low ball. There's the throw down the second, not in time. Coming home. Safe. Going to third.
Way to go, Matt.
Out. I don't think he tagged him.
All right. Run.
He never made the bag, though. And another run comes home, though. Couple of stolen bases. We'll be back with more. With the former athletes of New Trier, there, Jerry Happ played on that 96 team that finished 4th in the state. Mark Florsch, part of that 97 baseball team that made it to the Elite 8. Smith, Weiler, and Conley do up for the Evanston Wildkits. Here in the 4th inning. And again, the Trevians have scored runs into the double digits. Dan Porter now catching for the Trevians. Foul ball down the line. So Porter is now behind the plate.
Brian, 14.
Bottom of the 4th, Trevians will have Rogers, Gurry, and Porter now. Due up. Line shot into right field. Base hit single for Smith. 4th hit of the ball game for the Evanston Wildkits. Scattered among the 4 innings. Here's Weiler. And the pitch. In there for a strike. Greg Weiler, third baseman, junior, ground ball. Nice stop. Busby up, throws, gets him. On the play, the runner moves on over to second. As Chris Busby, nice job of knocking it down, getting up, throwing to Lottich.
Tommy!
Here's Justin Connolly. Connolly struck out his last time up. Runner on at second, one away. Shortened the bunt. Offered the bat. Strike one. 0-1 the count. Tries again to bunt. Fouls it off. 0-2. Tim Joyce on deck. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Third strikeout of the ball game for Peter Elmer. And here's Tim Joyce. Joyce was Peter Elmer's first strikeout victim and hit a ground ball comebacker. Trevians been the recipients of some gifts here by the Evanston Wildkits. 10 walks through 3 innings. Now they pitch. Fouled off. Now the delivery by Peter Elmer. Inside the ball.
Come on now, cut, kid.
Bottom third of the order due up for the Trevians, as was the case here for the Evanston Wildkits.
Make the adjustment. Let's go, kid.
Well, the difference is this is only the second time for Joyce is the third time he's been at bat. The Trevians working on their bottom third of the order third time. Everybody else has already been at bat 3 times in the 3 innings we played. Ball 4. And Joyce draws a walk. Only the second walk issued by Peter Elmer. And here's Smoller. Matt Smoller, 5'4", diminutive outfielder for the Wildkits. Kind of reminiscent of Jared Newmark for Highland Park. Also a diminutive outfielder. That's a ball, I'd say. Taylor on deck. Taylor's had 2 hits and 2 plate appearances. The pitch. Inside.
Come on, kid. Let's go. All right, let's go.
6'5" lefty delivers. In there for a strike.
Hey, one more, Elmo. Come on, kid.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 and the inning over. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, and 2 left. We move to the bottom half of the 4th. The Trevians leading it. Peter Elmer now with 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, no stolen bases for the Wildkits. More of the little groupies that are hanging around today. Rogers, Geary, and Marte due up. More of the little groupies here today. Rogers, Geary, and Marte due up. Now the pitch on the way by the big 6'6", 270-pound pitcher, Sven Stafford. The ball. The righty delivers, foul back. Windshield whacker. Now the pitch, low and away a ball. Rogers, Geary, and Porter due up. Ground ball, slow roller, taken by the second baseman. Pitcher covers, and a 4-1 put out, and there's one away. Here's Geary. That wasn't a very good move on the part of the first baseman. He should have stayed by the bag. Let the second baseman handle that one. Here's Will Park. Park batting for Geary.
Get the hands moving. Hands moving, pivot.
Park for Geary. Takes a pitch outside a ball. Stafford delivers. Low and away. Yeah, ball. Cloudy day. Wind blowing in. Throws to first. Got him. 6-3 on the putout.
Use those hands. It's like
and there's Dan Porter.
Hey, get the pitch you like, kid.
Dan Porter. Pitch on the way. Is low. Inside a ball.
Yeah, latch it. What are you good for, Z?
Outside a ball. Oh, and he's hit by a pitch. Second hit batsman today. And Harper in to pinch run. Here's Busby. Throw to second as they have a stolen base. Another stolen base. And now the pitch off the third baseman. Throws to second. And Harper had strayed a little too far. So the inning over.
Drive carefully.
And we'll be back with more in just a moment. Moves in to play left field. Peter Elmer on the mound. He has the meat of the Evanston batting order due up.
Front side, Port.
Whoops, we goofed that up. There's 4 hits for the Evanston Wildkits. Both teams with 2 errors. Taylor, Faji, and Slicer.
414.
Delivery. in there for a strike. Now the pitch. Inside a ball. 2-1 the count to Scott Taylor. A strike on the outside corner. Little squibber. Busby picks it up, throws in time. One up, one down. And here is Stefano Faggi. A sophomore, 6'3", 175-pounder. Swing and a miss, strike. Trevians leading it. 1-1 to count. Trevians up by 9. Low ball.
Get around it.
Outside a ball. Peter Elmer gets him to hit a fly ball. Whoa! And Gary got himself all twisted up. Down he goes. Third error of the ball game. Tommy Gary got himself a little tangled up and went down. Had he been able to keep his feet, he probably would have been able to make that catch. Here's Schleicher, been around at second. One out. Low and away a ball. He was safe on an error. In the second, on an infield pop-up that everybody sort of looked at each other and said, you take it. No, you take it. No, why don't you take it? I guess not. Maybe you'll take it. Here's a strike. Boy, when the Trevians score runs, they have been hot at the plate. They win them big. Swing and a miss.
There you go, Elmo. Come on, let's get another one.
And they ran into a little glitch there. I was commenting earlier this week to some of the players, strike 3, about senior slump. And I think this year, and with some of these players, they thought that their natural talent was going to take them. There's a strike. After all, they finished second in the state last year. They're back. They're ready to go this year. A couple of the pitchers are even stronger. A couple of the hitters ready to play. But I think there's some players here that haven't worked very hard this spring. High fly ball down the line. And Harper has it for the out in foul territory. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Trevians lead it 10-1. Gelber, Pritz, Lottich due up.
Come on, G.
Andy Gilbert. Little flare. And take him out the shortstop. On the edge of the outfield grass. One down. Here's Brian Pritz. Pritz has been on base twice, scored 2 runs. Officially at the plate, he's 0 for 2. Safe on a fielder's choice and walked. Fouled one off. Ground ball, shortstop has it. Throws to first in time. Not by much, but in time for the 6-3 putout. Here's Matt Lottich. Matt was sort of talking over here on the near side, a couple of his friends saying, I'm going to park one out of here and finish this. There's a foul ball, wicket one down the line, nearly decapitated Coach Helfrich down the line. Long fly ball, he may have done it. Back it goes, back, no, can't get it. Right fielder, Lottich on his way to third. He'll make it standing up.
Space hit right here.
They call that a hit, triple for Lottich. And here's Sharp. Time called. And Sharp gets an intentional pass. Here's John Corwin. And Johnny Corwin, now the designated hitter, replacing Sunheim. And they're going to intentionally walk Corwin. So they load the bases up. And here's Harper. Bases loaded, 2 out. Harper, flare to right field. Drops in for the base hit. Slaughter-rule, Trevians win. And the ball game is all over. Lottich trots home with the game winner. Score that is a single for Harper. And we'll be back in just a moment to wrap this one up. Trevians, 11 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors. Stole 5 bases, were the recipients of 12 walks. 2 of them intentional. They struck out once, left 9 on base, and were victims of 2 errant pitches by the Evanston pitchers, 2 hit batsmen. For the Evanston Wildkits, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors. No stolen bases, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts for Peter Elmer. And the Wildcats left 8 on base. Peter Elmer, winning pitcher, his record goes to 7-0. And the Trevians, 79, have now scored 90 runs to 10 against their opponent, by their opponents in the last 5 games. So the Trevians are not only pitching well, but they are hitting well, and it is everybody who has been getting on base. So the Trevians move their record to 22-5 with a week left to the regular season. This is Mark Broad. Hope you've enjoyed this broadcast, and until our next one, we say